Welcome back to the Ultimate Coding Championship by Headstorm. 3 highly skilled engineers will face off to solve a problem in healthcare and transportation that impacts millions. Let's get to know our contestants. Ryan is a software engineer from Fort Worth, Texas. Lee is a software architect from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hamdi is an enterprise sales engineer from Dallas, Texas. Our judges will score their solution on a scale from 1 to 10 in 3 categories: design, implementation, and presentation. Whoever has the highest average score wins the $5,000 cash prize and title of Ultimate Coding Champion. Additionally, today's winner will advance to the season finale, the Tournament of Champions, where they will face off against episodes 1 and 2 champions, Dylan Kay and Chloe Dillingham, for the title of UCC Season 1 Grand Champion. The winner of the Ultimate Coding Championship is...
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey
Hello.
Welcome, everybody.
Feeling a little on edge, but I think the edge is coming off, and I'm excited to get started.
I think it's cozy enough for me to be in for the whole day.
I'm definitely a little nervous, a little stressed, but excited.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Coding Championship by Headstorm. I'm your host, Kirby Shaw, and today we have an exciting challenge ahead. 3 highly skilled engineers will face off to solve a problem in healthcare and transportation that impacts millions. Let's meet our judges. Andy DeShong is the CTO at Vizient. Angela Morano is the VP of AI and Data Transformation at Southwest Airlines. Gustav Schrills is the CIO at Omni Hotels and Resorts. Here's your challenge. Approximately 5.5 million Americans use a wheelchair. Meredith, the primary caretaker of her brother, who uses a wheelchair, is planning a special birthday trip for him. It's their first time traveling together, and she's concerned about how to meet his mobility needs. Your task is to create a GenAI solution to help her plan a safe, comfortable trip while addressing all of his mobility requirements. To stand out, include features like personalized travel suggestions, budget planning, or integration with local services for wheelchair users. Consider anything that will help Meredith plan an exciting and safe trip more easily. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The clock starts now.
All right, let's get to work.
All right, judges, the clock has started. How are we feeling?
I'm nervous
I was gonna say, I'm nervous for them.
Glad to be on this side of the table.
Yeah,
It is
you're like, I'll just
For
do the
sure.
grading, you
Right.
guys do the coding.
Right.
It's kind of funny because GenAI, I feel like, has become like a buzzword, but like there's actually something really powerful we could do for these families who are in
absolutely.
need.
I think that's one of the benefits of GenAI, right? You're taking some really complex stuff and you're, simplifying it.
The presentation and the usability are always the most important for me. To me, it always tells about their belief in the solution. And if something like this can be the starting point for that, then how awesome is that?
This is a really big need. Travel in general is daunting. Working for an airline, I understand that, and even working for an airline, it's still stressful.
Really big on the user experience, great user experience and the great user interface and interaction. It makes you want to use it or not use it.
Being able to come up with a solution that's going to provide somebody kind of all the answers in one place is really exciting.
And what is really important as well is looking at it holistically, being able to see all the other components so that what version 2.0 and beyond would look like.
Who has the complete package in terms of delivering something that has value to the market.
Hey, my name is Ryan Timmons. I'm a senior mobile engineer, and I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I work in a big enterprise retail space, and there's always constantly changing customer needs. The team I work with is great, and I'm real happy with the results we deliver every day. I have a real soft spot for animals and conservation efforts, and I have a couple of rescue reptiles, actually. Sure, yeah, I brought Shen. Let me get him real quick. He's super chill and just try to make sure that he's comfortable. He's got a 5-foot enclosure in my office, and he kind of just hangs out with me while I work.
Hey, Ryan, how are you, man?
Good to see y'all.
Getting a good start here?
Oh yeah, just
Yeah?
chugging along.
How are you checking your accuracy? We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the source set up correctly, and then I can
Right.
trust it from there. So as
Okay.
long as my code is not compromised, I'm figuring that SERP AI, that's the AI tool I'm using,
Yeah.
I can trust what they're giving me back.
Okay.
Yep.
You're feeling good about the problem?
I'm feeling good, but I got some things to figure out. So able to get the flights, so that's step number 1 done.
Yeah.
They gave me some good context for sure for the problem, and kind of gave me inspiration in the moment. That's what
Yeah.
I kind of feel like my niche is kind of user experience. I'm
Okay.
hoping that.
Oh yeah, with your background and
Yeah.
Yeah.
good luck to you.
I appreciate it. Yep.
Great. Good luck.
Awesome.
My name is Patrapon Leela Prashakun. You can call me Lee. I'm from Thailand. Being a software architect, it might be client work, helping colleague with sales, translating business requirement into technical implementation, whatever that may be. I went to Japan, Hong Kong, Macau, Malaysia, Vietnam, Philippines. I lived in Austria for a year, went to Italy. Yeah, we just went around.
Lee, how we
Lee.
doing?
How's Lee feeling?
Good.
Excited, I think. When they talk to me, my eyes keep moving back to the screen. So I'm trying not to because it's kind of rude.
You're only 45 minutes in now. You got that ton of time left, so should be great by the end, right?
You have a good view of how you're breaking out the problem in pieces.
I was thinking about like the means of transportation a little bit. Airline is of course like one part of it, but also taxi, how to get from one
Yeah.
place to another, how to get from
Absolutely.
home to the airport, who you need to contact, for example, after you book the flight.
Really
who
kind of
you
have to think
share.
about the whole
yeah, it's
end-to-end.
like yeah, end to
The whole
end
life cycle.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
life
the
cycle
journey.
thing. I'm trying to be in the conversation, but my brain is just like going back there, going back to the code.
Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Thank
Very excited to
you.
see.
We're crossing our fingers for you.
Thank you so much.
My name is Hamdi. I'm an enterprise sales engineer and I'm from Dallas. So a day in the life of an enterprise sales engineer, traveling to customers. When something breaks, what would you like it to be? Or like, what are you expecting? What would make your life easier? Run an exotic car rental business. It's just something that I kind of picked up. My mother and sister, basically the world to me. And even though I'm kind of a traveler and like I like to go and try new things, like I always find my way back to them.
How we doing over here?
Hello. Good.
Looks amazing.
Good. I'm one of the things I wanted really think of it from a user perspective. So how can I add value so that you can actually take it with you? I'm at the airport, what should I do?
Right.
Or I'm at my hotel and I want to go get dinner or something. So it's not a chat, but really an itinerary, a plan that you can follow and keep track of.
I'm so focused on the little things. I'm maybe running into issues here and there, but then once they came, I came back and told them my end goal again, and they were like, yeah, that sounds kind of like great. That makes sense. And I was like, okay.
Do you have any connection to the prompt itself or the challenge itself?
My grandma, she obviously needs a wheelchair when she goes to the airport. I had no idea of the steps that you should be taking to be ready when you get to the airport or when you're leaving the airport.
And think about the feedback that you get, and you can incorporate the feedback to improve the the outcome of the product. So
yeah.
Travel doesn't always go as planned, so you have to be ready for those disruptions.
I mean, just driving up here, I forgot one little thing. Once you're at the airport and you're on that plane,
done.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Got it. Well, best of
Yeah.
luck to you.
Awesome.
We're excited
All the
to see
best.
the end product.
Hey, can we stop the clock for a second? Stop the clock, thank you. Hey, so, as you all know, the most important person in what y'all are doing is the end user. Well, Meredith is not a hypothetical person. Meredith is a real person, and Meredith is here. Meredith, can you come on out, please?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Y'all doing good?
My competitors were maybe taken aback by it, but I actually saw this as an opportunity.
I don't think I'm shocked. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when Meredith came out, I thought she was gonna be in a wheelchair, and I didn't see the wheelchair. Because they say in the prompt it said Meredith's a wheelchair user, I think.
Meredith does not have a brother that is in a wheelchair, but Meredith is a designer at Make-A-Wish who has to design trips for families with accessibility needs all of the time. So she is definitely gonna wanna be an end user of whatever solutions y'all are designing. So Meredith, can you tell us a little bit about Make-A-Wish and your role there as a designer?
Yes, so here at Make-A-Wish North Texas, our mission is to grant life-changing wishes for children who are battling critical illnesses. We have 5 different wish types. I wish to go, I wish to have, I wish to be, I wish to meet, and I wish to give. We serve a lot of kiddos with varying mobility needs, and so we are spending a lot of our time researching and calling vendors to ensure that we meet our families' needs to the best of their ability. This process is extremely time-consuming. A lot of our vendors, yes, they're ADA compliant and can list their mobility policies online. However, it's not always easy to find. You're having to click through multiple links, get passed from person to person on the phone to even hopefully get the right answer. Being able to have everything in one spot is going to be a breath of fresh air to have them find everything they need right then and there.
I'm going to give each of you a chance to ask a single question that is going to aid you in designing a better solution.
The question I asked is, what's the biggest pain point that she could see that type of user experiencing?
I want to click on one thing. I don't want to have to click on 5 different things and then be like, oh, actually, I need to call someone and then get past. If I could just click that one thing, and it might not be everything, but it's going to be a lot more than what we can already access today.
Awesome. Thank you. Message received. They don't want to be pressing a bunch of buttons. They don't want to do a lot of unnecessary sign-in. So I took that feedback and I really tried to center the app on that kind of experience.
Just to add on to that, so it sounds like it'd be really helpful to have some sort of consolidated view of all the different parts of the journey.
Yes, for sure. And it's something that it's so small for us because in the grand scheme of things, I can walk and I can go and I don't have to think about it. But for them, it is this massive cloud over their head.
That made me feel really confident because I was like, this is exactly what I was thinking, but now I have somebody to tie it with who's really going to be able to connect to the solution.
Yeah, awesome.
Lee?
Normally when you design a trip, where would you go first? Which part of the travel that you find it's like hard or difficult to deal with?
Luckily, we have really great airline partners and hotel partners that we have contacts and we can reach out to them for. It's the activities, it's the restaurant recommendations, those little smaller details like you were mentioning. So I'd say that's one of the biggest areas.
I think I didn't ask the best question because it might actually be really depends on the situation. Gotcha. That's kind of not really working in my favor.
All right. Thank you, Meredith, for being here. We'll get to see what they come up with a little bit later today.
So well, thank y'all.
All right, let's start that clock back up.
All right, contestants, you've got 1 hour left. Everything going okay over there?
You know, that really sends it home. Okay, it's time to wrap stuff up.
Best of luck to finish up that build. Again, 1 hour left.
How you doing?
Doing good.
You look deep in thought.
There was a little issue. Found it, a little bug in my code, and I didn't want to look too nervous, but just telling them, just figuring some stuff out,
Have you started thinking about your presentation?
What I'm really focusing on is the delivery, presentation, where I really want to drive the value of the platform more than the information. Really crafting a story around it.
Any more technical challenges you still have to overcome, or you?
There's probably a lot. It is development. They're not as big as they were about an hour ago. But yeah, I think 30 minutes left,
Yep.
Got to get rid of the big problems first, right?
Work on the prep.
Yeah.
My grandma and my grandpa are from Egypt. Try to keep something on me at all times that's relevant to my background. Kind of like the last thing that I got from my grandpa, who kind of passed away recently, a couple years ago.
So what do you think you'll do with the 5,000 if you win?
Buy Bitcoin.
Based on your game plan from the beginning, after you talked to Meredith, did that change anything for you?
Definitely validating. It would be nice to have more of a consolidated view and being able to see multiple parts of the journey.
It's great. User validation is always good, right?
Good luck.
Good luck. Hey, Lee.
Hi.
How are you?
She says nervously.
I was I was looking by the screen a little bit and
No worries.
Something wasn't working correctly. And then when it came to me, that split concentration drive me mad a little bit.
How's it going? How are you doing?
I think it's okay.
Okay, you
Just
seem
okay?
hesitant.
I'm always hesitant.
Okay.
I cannot find where the error is. It's just like the little detail that I want to add so the GenAI understand the context a little bit more. Total duration, how long is the flight, those kind of that thing that will help like people life a little bit more.
I wanted to go for musical college when I was in middle school and high school. And then somehow in my life, I just like pivot my goal to software engineering. I feel like I got a lot of stuff from my father. I saw him working on the computer a lot when I was a kid. I think it's during my bachelor degree that I start like attending like competition and those kind of stuff. So it expand me more. It's like, oh, you can do this with like technology. Oh, you can do this too. It keep me interested for the long time. That's why I'm like, okay, this probably be my career.
What did you think of Meredith?
Yeah, I think it actually helped me a little bit. I came from Thailand, so the experience with wheelchair is always bad. The pathway is not always good. It's not wide. I feel like it's just a different kind of perspective when you look at a problem.
I think my advantage is seeing it more of like both sides, technology side and business side. Being in consulting, you need to understand both sides of it. If somebody implement the technology, nobody use it, then it doesn't really matter.
Presentation, feeling good?
I think it's okay.
It's okay.
Everything's okay.
Quiet understatement.
I'm always hesitating.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Debating if I can sneak down in my car without anybody catching me. So
No, you can't do that. We thought it was interesting at the beginning when we watched you. Most coders like to work with two monitors, and you shoved that one out of the way.
Oh yeah. You guys want a little preview?
Sure.
Let's see.
Oh,
Love it.
Yeah.
Comfort Air.
I was able to show them a little preview of the app, and they seemed receptive. So it was cool to get that kind of emotional feedback in the moment. It came a little bit late, but in my internship for accounting, I was making automated spreadsheets and macros, and I'm always looking for opportunities to do something that's more tech focused. At some point, I have to realize like I just need to go full bore into the tech side.
Presentation?
That's we'll see who shows up on the day, basically.
Okay. All right.
See you then.
Good luck.
Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ryan.
Appreciate it. It was mercifully brief because I was ready to get back at it too. So.
I have very high hopes that Ryan is going to produce something that is going to impress the judges. I think that he has most end user experience. Lee has a fantastic background in architect and consulting. Probably a surprise just simply because all three are fantastic.
My guess right now, the winner might be is Hamdi because he's got a little bit more of that extrovert, and I could see where his salesmanship and storytelling is gonna probably carry him. But oftentimes I've seen in my career those introverts that maybe are a little bit more shy can sometimes just really turn it on. Lee, who seems like kind of a hardcore coder, a little more quiet, a little more reserved. You never know, there could be a quiet introvert dark horse in the winning, so we shall see.
Ryan is quiet, but yet very confident. I think he's going to show some really interesting things. So he's got his own toys that he brought from home to help him with a competition. That shows me something. I think Ryan will win. I like Lee, but I think Ryan's going to win.
Ten,
9, 8,
I knew what I had was what I had. What happens, happens.
7, 6, 5.
My heart is racing. I'm sweating. Just kidding. I'm not sweating. But the little piece that was broken wasn't working. Let's just get to it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys.
Good job, everybody. Congratulations.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Nice work.
Thank you.
I just hope for AI God to not play a prank on me during presentation.
All right, contestants, the time is up. Earlier today, we presented you all with a challenge for Meredith, who is planning a trip for her brother. He has specific accessibility needs, mobility needs that need to be met on this trip. We have challenged you all with using GenAI to design a solution that is gonna help Meredith plan out a safe trip, a fun trip that also accommodates all of his mobility needs. We are gonna be judging you based on the design, the implementation, and the presentation. Can't wait to see what you guys have come up with. All right, Ryan, let's see what you've put together.
My strategy going into the presentations was just try to highlight the difference in the approach I took. I was also using AI to actually build out the UI layer, build out the app, and I was hoping that would make me stand out. So I'm gonna kick off the build, and this is live. So I have my Comfort Air app is what I'm calling it. I have a prompt here to enter in the information. What's a good from airport?
Dallas. How about
Dallas.
that?
Let's do it, DFW. And then, yeah, for the to airport, where are we looking to go?
Orlando.
Orlando?
MCO.
MCO. All right, then what would be a good date?
November 12th.
Do the European format, get a little international. Okay, so like I said, I want a little bit of a structured experience. So it's structured on this first tab as your travel day. Basically, I made these features into 3 different tabs. So I wanted to highlight feature by feature. So for here, we're talking about going to DFW Airport. They're recommending wheelchair accessible ride services, checking for assistance. And then the next step is gonna be while you're actually at the airport, what can we do? Again, based on DFW Airport, we're giving contact information, which I think is an important part. And then the last thing is when you leave the airport, and that's gonna be at the Orlando airport, it gives you tips on what to do there. And then I think an important call out is at the very end, we're talking about things they can do that are going to be wheelchair accessible. So we see explore the wheelchair accessible Disney World and enjoy the scenic Lake Eola Park with its accessible pathways and facilities. Okay, so that's kind of the idea behind Comfort Air. So now to get onto the actual technical part, ensuring that we're getting the right data, that's what this second tab is for. Here we're using SERP AI in order to check the Google Flights API so that we can get real-time flight information. So here we see various options with some costs and stuff and the departure time and the arrival time. While I don't want people to have to type in a bunch of messages, I do want to offer the ability to do that if you want to. But if I could get a sample question.
I saw American Airlines up there. What is their wheelchair policy in terms of bringing your own device versus do they provide those services?
That's a great question. Let's do that. And then, yeah, we get an information back here. So like, yes, you can bring your wheelchair on American Airlines. So this is just an option if your needs are not served by those static views. But the only 2 things I wanted to call out was thanks to all the libraries and people that made the libraries that I used to be able to make this quickly. And the other thing is the iconography that you see here, these images is actually made by a tool called Recraft AI, which is a UX design library that lets you set a style and then fine tune your iconography. There was a bunch of libraries that let me do things so quickly. And then there was a bunch of AI libraries that let me do things, on the more creative side. But yeah, SERP AI, Recraft AI, and then the chat is OpenAI.
How did you find Recraft?
I got a buddy that's in the image GenAI space. He has a startup. Talking to him and searching, I found one that was specific to UX work. So to have something that can start making tools like that, I thought that was pretty cool.
Ryan, am I able to see which flights are nonstop or if I'm having to connect and get off a plane while looking at these flights?
I did it with nonstop in mind by default, and I would want to minimize how many stops for this particular use case.
When I said Dallas, 2 airports here, right?
Yeah.
So just curious if that came, into your thought process at all in terms of actually having to put in airport code versus a city that might offer airport codes.
I kind of looked if they had something where you can type in Dallas and it starts doing DFW. I live like 10 minutes from DFW, so maybe it's like hometown bias, but I was just like DFW all day. But no, I'd love to have something nicer for that, for sure.
Got it. Thank you.
What about other itineraries like restaurants and that kind of stuff? How would you want to add that?
The itinerary tab, I'd like to have, when you pick a flight, it's at the top, and then from there we're going to generate experiences that you can do, particularly ones that are wheelchair accessible, which is what I kind of tried to do with that one prompt.
Awesome
job,
work.
Yeah.
Hey, awesome.
Great. Love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was feeling, more confident going out than going in for sure.
Thanks, Ryan.
Alrighty. Thanks, guys.
All right, Lee, let's see what you put together for us.
Right before the presentation, I feel like my heart pumping, my blood pressure boiling. But after I stand there for 2 minutes, I will feel more calm. Welcome to Access. I have some of like the quick message here. If I want to type something quickly, I don't want to type like the long sentences, I can just tap in there. I plan to build the audio recognition as well using the microphone, but it's not working. So right now, I'm just like doing this. You tap the button, everything is down there. Now I'm just gonna send it. Now everything is processing. I'm using the agent to split the responsibility of the task. Let's say I'm picking the one from Southwest for my departure. I tap on the button. Now it knows that I'm gonna choose this flight, and then it will try to search for the return flights. I didn't think about preparing for my presentation in a sense. I am thinking more about these are the prompts that I need to go through. It will actually return you the summary of the flight. I have this wheelchair. Can I check it in? My dimension is like 20-inch wide, 20-inch height. What are the aircraft that support this wheelchair check-in? It will have another agent specifically for checking this as well. So this is all the aircraft that I got from them. You can see that there's actually the aircraft here, right? So you can match, okay, Boeing 737 is there. So you know that you can check it in. Let's say, okay, I want the contact information of the Southwest airline of how I can get like all the support. So I can type it in here. There's gonna be another agent to find out all the contact information about a certain service. Our destination is Orlando. I love Disneyland. So I have this specific prompt for Disneyland to find the hotel. I cater the search specifically that all the hotels that show up here will have accessible. And you can see all the maps, where's nearby places. I can ask what are the art museum around this hotel. You can see that like the closest one is going to be Orlando Museum of Art. It also provides you with ratings, website, and everything. Does this museum support wheelchair? Sometimes they don't have that information on their website. Fortunately, this come up as, okay, yes, they have the support, but if you want to double check, you can call them. Any questions so far?
Did you plan to look at social media to determine what others with accessibility needs may have provided?
Let me try here and see if it works or not, and see what it's gonna give me back. So it's like just telling you, okay, you just need to support another entrance. Yeah.
But that message is more assurance than the previous one. The previous one says it's accessible, but this one says exactly where it is accessible, on the north side of the building. So there is a greater level of assurance that it exists.
One of the judge asked me if I can try it out. It gives an okay response.
Did you design this from the perspective of the planner designing this from home on more of like a laptop or mobile as well?
I would say mobile enough. The experience is going to be much different on the mobile phone. Right. You have less space to work with.
Are you using OpenAI as your LLM?
I'm using mainly OpenAI to orchestrate all the pieces.
Are the prompts that you have at the bottom there, those are just suggestions, just making it easier for the user to kind of grab those and use them?
Right now I have the static prompts. You don't want to type your wheelchair dimension every single time. You can go down to the route of, the wheelchair model, and then it can just ask you like which wheelchair you're gonna bring with you, and then it can recommend you the flight according to that wheelchair dimension that you already have.
What if I don't like the flight options or hotel options that were available? Can I ask it again for more options?
Yeah, you should be able to. Let's say I want American Airlines instead. I can tap the button, it will find me return flight. So let me show this a little bit. This is more of like monitoring tool. I have all this flight information. What was the flight selection? What was the aircraft that was supported by wheelchair? I want to show all the context of the summary of the conversation is kept. And if you want to continue improving on it, you can. So if I go back, now you have another set of return flight.
Very good.
Great.
Great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I am actually really satisfied with what I built. I am confident in a way that I am doing what a solution architect is supposed to do within 3 hours.
All right, Hamdi, let's see what you put together.
The strategy for developing my presentation was let's tailor it for the judges.
I call this Voyage AI. Before we kind of dive in, my goal was actually having something to take with you when you're in each part of your journey. First, we're gonna assume a couple of things. We're traveling from Dallas. Where would you like to be traveling to?
Orlando.
Orlando, awesome. We'll assume
Oh, Love Field.
Love Field. Yep, there's a airline there. I'm not sure which one, but where are you going to be staying? Let's say Omni Hotel. And then what vacation date would you like to go?
November the 12th through the 21st.
21. I guess Southwest. We'll choose
Thanks,
that airline.
Hamdi.
Show me some flights.
I'm a little nervous in the beginning. I get through that. We go through the prompts. And then after that is really where I think I start to hit my stride.
Now, we'll preempt this. Some of these potentially might not be accurate. However, to kind of solve this problem, being able to still give a reference of where you can search for those flights, go to Southwest, be able to find actual accessibility information, and then arranging that assistance as well.
I'm ignoring the fact that there's a problem because it's not about that, but it's about how am I going to show them how this can help them or how they would use this if everything was perfect.
What are my options for getting from home to the airport? Because we have context of where you're coming from, what you're doing, the AI is actually able to give you some very specific information that is going to be around that location that you're at. So we can see Super Shuttle, the Dallas Area Rapid Transit, but I've also applied the actual reviews so that you can get an idea of what other people who have used this service are actually saying about it as well. Know about bringing my wheelchair. We want to be able to give you that information of what you should be doing before your flight, when you get to the airport, when you're boarding the aircraft, as well as contact information so that you can verify what's going to happen when you get there. Give me some options for art museums I could visit during the day. You know what? Add the Orlando Museum of Art to my calendar. Your reservation was added to your calendar. What about good dinner spots? Meredith, what's your favorite place to eat or type of food?
Let's go Italian.
I love Italian. And so we're given a list. Let's go to Primo. Now, what should I do? And this is just for ease of mind. What should I do if there's an emergency? And here we're given information of kind of the nearest hospital, accessibility needs, all the information that's given to us. This itinerary will actually update and copy exactly what you've been looking up. Everything is already taken in context and ready for you so that you have it readily available for your flight, your transportation, your lodging and activities, all the different dinner places, as well as the emergency contact. We did add some things to our calendar. So if I click on calendar, I can see that the AI has automatically attached those plans that I wanted to make to your calendar. To show you what this would look like, what you're gonna see here is the exact thing that you saw on the screen. So you can actually see that itinerary that we had is going to be available at your phone so that you don't, again, need to pull up the chat, remember what you have to look through.
So it looks like you didn't have to keep telling it or asking about accessibility. So did you just ground the whole app, just everything about accessibility?
Ideally, what I wanted to do was have kind of a profile page where it's like, hey, tell us about yourself, you know, have the database or something that knows all the different disabilities. But then once I was able to get more clarity, then I just kind of wrapped the whole LLM to be very focused on a specific disability. Now the nice thing is that I can actually switch that out using a variable because that's kind of how I have this all built out.
What happened on the flight? You said it's not accurate. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
what went wrong?
I took a risk, and we were given an API, and I used a different API, but it turns out that that API is not pulling the specific flights I'm looking for. All right, whatever. Like, I took a risk, and it didn't work out. So,
Okay.
But you give me another hour, and I'd fix it. Or sorry, not an hour, like 5 minutes,
I bet
10
it would
minutes.
take like 10 minutes. I was gonna say.
Yeah, Andy did call me out pretty hard on the coding aspect, which is fair enough.
So on the Voyage AI page, at any point would I be able to type in anything in those drop-downs?
That is what I would imagine. I'm not gonna tell you where you can go and not go. But yeah, that's ideally not a drop down of 5 cities you can go to, but whatever city you want.
Did you think about incorporating social media feedback on, you know, the museum or any of those that you recommend?
Definitely something I attempted, and I was like, wait, let me like just get the core done. So again, more of like a future thing, but it is something I thought about.
Yeah.
So you did include some reviews.
Yeah.
Right? Your next step would have been to kind of
to extract
to kind of pull some synthesis or insights from the collection of those reviews. Yeah.
That would have been great.
Thank you. Great job.
Great job. Thank you.
I don't feel great. I know that I messed up the API part, so I'm kind of just accepting defeat at this point. Just hanging in there.
Okay, judges, what did we think of the presentations?
I think all of them did a fantastic job. You start realizing that if they had more time, what we could have seen would have been more complete.
Yeah, it's a lot to cover in 3 hours. So.
Absolutely. All right, Meredith, any final thoughts you want to share to help inform this decision that the judges have to make?
Definitely the ease of use, being able to use it not only on a laptop or my phone, because a lot of times families are working from the hospital. That's where they have their time. So I think that component is super important. Obviously the accuracy, making sure that information is correct. Talking about social media, everyone goes there to look for information. And so I think having others validate and share their personal experiences is super helpful and relatable for families when looking through all of this information. I'd say those are probably the biggest things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great feedback.
Thank you
so
feedback.
much. Really appreciate it.
All right, well, y'all have a hard decision to make, and I'm hearing some differing opinions
We're gonna
here,
have to duke it out.
This is gonna be interesting.
To win the Ultimate Coding Championship would just be a really cool testament to my ability, but also to the fact that I actually solved the problem. I think it'd be awesome to bring home the belt. I hope it comes in XL, so.
For me, being an introvert, I didn't get to meet a lot of people. It's just not my nature. I want this opportunity for me to actually see people and connect with people. Just enjoy the moment, I think.
I think one of the biggest things is validation. So winning it would basically prove out that if I try this and I do win, then like, sky's the limit.
Great work, y'all. This was a very tough decision. Judges, before we reveal the winner, let's give these contestants some feedback. What do we think about what Ryan presented to us today?
So Ryan, you did a fantastic job. Congratulations. Things that we were very impressed with is the fact that you made it mobile enabled. You actually spent a lot of time on the presentation layer, which was super important to us. The use of Recraft AI to manage the imaging was fantastic. The opportunities that we have, not very huge. Your date, you had, the European model versus the American model. And then when we asked Dallas, you didn't really give us the 2 Dallas options because you live close to DFW. You assumed that it was DFW. But those are just minor things that can be fixed.
As far as feedback about the app, but it didn't seem like there was too much overwhelming deal breakers. So I was feeling pretty confident after that.
You did a fantastic job, and I thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Lee, I also want to congratulate you on a great job. The agent structure that you had around the different AI bots that do different pieces, I really think that was built not only for the short term, right, but I think from a longer term perspective, I think that was really good. I love the branding that you had as well. I thought that was clever. And then you were really brave when you're like, I don't know the answer to this. Let's just see if it works. And I mean, that's very uncommon when you're doing a live presentation. So that was really solid. I think the opportunity is once we got into the app itself, it could be a much more clean user experience from a simplicity standpoint. You had a lot in there, but I think the prompts, it just kind of kept going on and on and on in terms of some things. But that's something that I know in Gen 2 you would certainly fix. And lastly, from again, another positive, you wanted to think about the audio component, like not everybody having to type, and I thought that was really clever usage that the other contestants didn't have. So again, congratulations.
I actually appreciated my solution has the most longevity. That's what I want to show them. I came here, I did my job. Thank you.
Hamdi, great job today, as everyone. A couple of things that I thought were really fantastic about it was the fact that everything that you prompted the app with was grounded in accessibility. You didn't have to think about that as an additional thing to ask each and every time. So the fact that it was grounded in that was great. The organization, and so the user experience. In your itinerary section, you had the organization, it kept the context of the flight you had chosen or the location you had chosen. And so just having that information organized in a way just really made the information easy to consume. You included the reviews. I know with each one of these, we asked about, did you include and think about that? You had already thought about that, so that was great. Your flight piece didn't work, but that's okay. I know if you had more time, you would have addressed that. The intro page was a little heavy. Meredith asked about that as well. I think there was some opportunity there just to make that piece a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker. But overall, just a really great job. Loved the organization, loved the user experience. You knew your audience as well, so that was great too. So awesome job.
Of course, what happened with the data points, but yeah, it was good feedback.
Okay.
We have the results.
All right, the envelope, please. Here we go. Are we ready?
I feel relieved. I'm just like looking forward to after party so much.
You know, it was pretty much anybody's game, I felt like, at that point, so I couldn't be too surprised.
It would be kind of crazy if I won, but there's no way.
The winner of episode 3 of the Ultimate Coding Championship, who will also be joining Dylan and Chloe in the season finale, is Hamdi.
He's really good about bringing himself into somebody's shoe, and I think that makes him win. I'm so happy for him.
It's good to get out there sometimes and just do things outside your comfort zone, and Hamdi's definitely a strong competitor, and it was awesome to see his family there.
The last couple of weeks I've been kind of thinking of it, dreaming of it. It happened and it just didn't feel real.
Thank you so much. I mean, just thank you, everybody. I can't even think right now.
My grandpa would be up 3, 4 a.m. He still would work. And he would wake me up and say, hey, I need some help. He would just be like, oh my gosh, you're an engineer. And at 4 a.m., I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. What I would give to be woken up at 4 a.m. just to like help him do anything. Really wish he was here to kind of see what it's turned into. Yeah.
Thank you. I just don't want to cry on camera, but you know, this is great. Mom, I did it.
I think imposter syndrome in the tech world is very rampant. I always kind of feel like the underdog, and then I sometimes come on top, but then sometimes I fail. But at the end of the day, it's just about trying. For all the underdogs out there, it only takes one time for you to get that success that could completely change your life. But as long as you're putting in that effort, you're gonna see something at the end of the tunnel.
Happy, look at the judges.
Rockstar. Record right in my face. It's fine, I'm not working here. I'm not doing anything important.
3, 2, 1.
We were counting slower than a clock. I'm like,
where'd that 2 come from?
yeah, well, like,
There we go, yeah.
All right.
That's right.
Hamdi's role, though, he should do this presentation shirtless.
I feel like presentation time.
Action.
Alrighty, so, yeah.
We both started talking at the same time.
Great job.
it's very good.
Great job.
Great.
Thank you.
Great work. Oh, sorry, Meredith. Yeah, sorry, Meredith.
I'm not ready, I don't know. I'm sorry. I have a quick question before I ask my question, so I can remember something.
The question for the question?
Yeah. Yes.
Whoever has the highest average score, sorry, it's going really fast. Just a notch. It was like just, yeah.
Pretty sure she said my name and I looked straight at the camera.
Yeah, same here.
I'm Hamdi from Dallas.
1 hour left.
Maybe you can be
Do it
like,
again.
good luck.
Yeah. I can give more if you need me to get.
Ryan didn't eat. Hamdi didn't eat. I was so hungry.
Hey, hold on, what am I supposed to say? Okay, perfect. Who am I?
I'm like thinking of code, and you guys are like, how do you feel? And I'm like, dude, what do you...